What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at My Cowboys Family, and of course, hop in the Discord link for that's in the description box down below.
You know, Cowboys news, info, and updates have been sparse. You know, very scarce, right? In the sparse. There you go. You're the one who knows the reading of the books more. You know the literature stuff more. Hey, listen. The point is, the Cowboys have had very little news, updates, and info outside of the OTAs the last 2 weeks and this past week with the mandatory minicamp. There are a couple of things we got to touch on, but honestly, this should have been called a Cowboys Quickie. Not only that, obviously we weren't here, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? I mean, there's no news. There's no information. I'm not going to BS you guys with some, rumors that are never going to happen. So we'll stick with the reality here at MCF and appreciate everybody who has. So, appreciate everybody who is tuning back in here when we have our, slow days when it comes to Cowboy news. But we still got a channel to run, and this is the second week.
Don't worry, guys. Those big free agent signings are coming any minute now.
Any minute now. But let's just hope we can sign our own guys. Yeah, I will say that we do have a 2-week span here of, leaders on these boards. And we got to show off those that have been repping it for the last 2 weeks at the top from the week before that. And the man, McLovin.
Showing the love.
You know it. The sponsor of the week and the Cash App King. The last 2 weeks, it's been one long 2 weeks, basically, is what it's been. So big shout out to McLovin there. Will he be giving that crown and that top spot over? We'll talk about that in a minute. We got Mark Hosepian with 18 points, all the way from Hawaii, ripping that star. Shout out to him and go Cowboys. 18 points, though, is danger zone there. He is hanging on to that stream boss. And then, of course, the gifting champ, none other than Jet Li 44, who's gotten it 6 out of the last 7 weeks. So that's some domination there. Always fighting off a couple people, mainly Skeptical Fan, who right now has one gifted membership for these last 2 weeks, while Jason Renfro has 3 in the lead, trying to go back-to-back like our 90s Cowboys and make it 8 out of the last 9 weeks in a row. So, 8 out of the last, 7 out of the last 8 weeks in a row for Jason. He's trying. Tonight, he may win that. We'll see. He's up by 2 over Skeptical Fan. And then when you look at the Cash App side, it was SCO 971, but over the last couple of nights, we've had some After Dark fun. And the After Dark session, McLovin's come on strong. In fact, he is currently the Cash App leader on the board there. Not far behind him is people like Multi-Super Kalil and others that are right there with them, like Skeptical Fan and Jason and Jet Li 44, a little bit farther back on Multi-Super Kalil. But McLovin's at the top of the Cash App side, which was something that was not the case. We had Skulls 971. We had Jet Li 44 as the overall leader. That has also changed. Currently, McLovin is at the top of the overall board and the Cash App board. So he's trying to go back-to-back like our 90s Cowboys. We'll see what happens. Not far behind him is Jason Renfro and Multi-Super Cockle, as we say here. So appreciate everybody who's dropped the love the last 2 weeks, and we're going to have some champions crowned at the end of this stream. Will they be the same guys? We'll see. Jason right now, Jet Li is in the lead on the membership side, and Cash App and overall McLovin. So the same people you've seen here may be leaving tonight with the champs again.
That's right.
And again, you will be added to this board here if you end up the sponsor of the week for this board here specifically to get into the raffle, which will be tomorrow or Tuesday for the month of May. We'll see what happens there. We'll talk about that in a minute here. I also want to shout out some other people here, like Skeptical Fan, pre-streaming it here with a $3.42 holler and a Go Cowboys in the PayPal. Big shout out to Skeptical Fan. And also big shout out to Traveling Fools, who is back in the membership in the Navy Blue Crew. Thank you. As well as some shout outs through the After Dark sessions, which we're going to do right now, like Skeptical Fan, McLovin, Multi-Super Kalil, Jet Li 44, Dark Raven, and Dave B. So, hey, thank you guys for the drops through there and the support on the After Dark sessions as well. The board is all up to date now, although I do have one last second drop by Jet Li 44 on the overall board. Yes, he currently, even though not at the top, so he's in second place and not far behind McLovin. Maybe he's got a chance to take over the top spot. Nonetheless, he is behind McLovin by a little bit on the Cash App side, by a lot on the Cash App side, but he did drop. Ooh, that was Skeptical Fan there. Where is Jason? Oh, let's go. Jason Renfro dropped the $2.43 holler, and he said, "Go Cowboys." So big shout out to Jason Renfro there. But more importantly for him, on the overall side, he's creeping up a little closer to the first place sponsor of the week spot. So we'll see what happens, baby. We'll see what happens.
He also shouted out Skeptical Fans.
Yes, at the pre-stream,
right?
yeah. With the Go Cowboys, the PayPal. A lot of different ways to drop the love.
Yeah, you kind of saw it here, live and in action, flexed a few different ways,
yeah, you got super chats, right? You can do that with YouTube. You got the thanks button. You also have the jumping in the membership like Traveling Fools did. You can also gift memberships like Skeptical and Jason have this week. But you could also do it 4 other ways, which is kind of the after dark side of things, to attack not just the overall board, but specifically the Cash App crown, baby. How are different ways people get down on the 4 other ways to support the channel?
You have, of course, the Cash App money sign MyCowboysFamily, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and last but not least, the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen like a super chat does. So
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to help out the channel. We appreciate everybody that's doing that. Even in the off-season times here, the news is a little bit less, and we have a couple less shows. But nonetheless, we always repping that star of everything, and you guys helping rep it with us here. So thank you guys on that side of things. Now, there are a couple other things we got to discuss because, of course, there is that monthly membership raffle for one of these fantastic sewn and stitched jerseys, authentic like the whole thing here. Mm-hmm. Every star level member gets 1 automatic raffle entry. Every over everything level member gets 2 raffle entries, and then we add in 4 weekly winner bonus entries. And I think right now, I haven't checked it, I don't remember who the first 2 were. I think McLovin was there. He might have 1 or 2 bonus entries. I think Sco might have been one of those names up there, and we have 1 more to name, and that's going to be tonight. So whoever wins that sponsor of the week board, right now it looks like it's mainly between McLovin, Jet Li 44, and Multi Super Kalo. Those are the 3 people really fighting, and Skeptical Fan, fighting it out for that top spot to maybe get a bonus entry into this star and over everything level membership raffle, which will be done again either tomorrow if we go live or Tuesday, which we definitely at the very latest can go live. It will be done before then for the month of May. Hey, we're already starting the month of June and the weekly winners, right? That starting next week. So anyways, enough of me talking, because tonight it's kind of like a Fan Friday. We weren't here Friday, so we do shout outs here for everybody on Fan Fridays in the silver level as well. As that, of course, always a star and over everything level. Much love to the Navy Blue crew, though. Yes. We always love you guys, too.
And a big shout out to the man, Mr. A. Lavelle. Yeah. Of course, along with Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical, Jet Li 44, Lincoln Kane, Marissa Sparkle, The Lunatic, and over everything, C. Bass.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate every single one of you guys on all levels. But those in the silver, and of course, the star and over everything, even extra little props there. Chance to win one of these jerseys in the next day or 2 for the month of May. Can't wait to see who does that. Now we're up on the board here, and it's time to give those shout-outs to who's in the house listening to some Cowboy football tonight here on My Cowboys Family.
Yeah. So hello and hi to What Up 8. Hello and hi. What's up with you?
What up?
Revelation journalist, much love, who, by the way, he did crack me up a little bit with this comment saying, man, that Dak Prescott's a player's coach. Just look at that thumbnail. Just wow. Like,
look at him coaching Trey Lance.
He does kind of look like a real official coach man, right?
I mean, either that or some sarcasm there. I mean, Dak's looking his form.
He is being sarcastic there. I'm pretty sure I know Revelation's thoughts on Dak Prescott.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, but that's not the point. The comment was still funny. We have Rolando Rodriguez in the house all the way from South Texas. Yeah. Kenzie Bands, much love to you. Even Leaside Herald had to come talk some real football, right?
Talk about the best football. Dallas Cowboy football.
Juan Carlos, much love. Mike Aldana, hello and hi. Yeah, very, very disappointed by today's performance by the Mavs.
And Mavericks took an L today, guys. It sucked, but down 0-2 in the championship. They need to go rattle off 2 wins at home here and get some even that stuff out.
Red Hammer, hello and hi. MCF After Dark, I wonder who that is.
Always peeking through.
Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical, who, by the way, is exactly 3.5 years of membership here, which I said, I'm like, it's kind of crazy to think we've even been around that long. And we've been around even longer than that, so. Yeah. Jet Li 44, of course, rocking through.
And by the way, I wanted to say one last thing about Jet Li 44, because this happened literally at the end of our last live stream. He did drop a $10 holler, which went through. Mark was at 28 points or 29 points. I think someone did join the channel and drop it down an extra point. But Jet Li 44 with a $10 holler said, quote, "I'll take the short yardage goal line and pass blocking Zeke version because That is all we need, nothing more than that. We got the other running backs to do the dirty work. And again, you know how we feel about that, Jason. I mean, Jet Li 44, 100% agree with you on that. For what he's going to be doing for the Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott, short yardage, goal line, pass protection. If the Cowboys use him right, it's a good pickup, a good signing, a good usage of Zeke. Anyways, back to I heard you say Jet Li.
Good.
I wanted to shout him out there.
Let me see. Brandon J, what's up? We have Juan Carlos in the house. I think I shouted you out, but just in case, another shout out for you. Freedom first, not first today. Daniel Berry Sports, what's up? And yeah, I think that's everybody here. But Kenzie Bands reminding us all, we are 12 Sundays away until football starts. It seems short, but it's 82 days away. Well, I think I can buckle down for 12 more of these football-less Sundays.
Yeah, I think we have, if I'm not mistaken, I know the first game of the season, I thought the first game of the season or the first day of NFL football is like 90 days away. I thought it was more like 90 days. Maybe I'm off on that. But either way, guys, we're basically under 33 months away from Cowboy football again, and it's almost right around the corner here. So I'm excited.
We're more than halfway through the off season, so that's always something to celebrate. And with
time.
that, right, let's kind of start talking. What's going on?
Some NFL stuff, but yeah, halfway through the off season, we're also like right now. There's going to be the loneliest of portions because truly, outside of maybe signing CeeDee Lamb, in the sense of an extension or DAK or Micah, or picking up a free agent or two that might be, of course, bottom of the barrel, maybe a name-ish kind of guy.
A laugh track plays somewhere in the background.
Outside of those 4 or 5 possible moves in the next 6 weeks or 5 weeks, there's nothing else going on, guys. Knock on wood, because if there's anything going on, probably a Cowboy guy getting in trouble, arrested, something happened. We don't want to hear any news. So outside of that, guys, it's going to be hopefully really quiet. But that means, not much news, info, and updates. And we're not going to just sit here and just talk about what if we pick up this guy or that guy or trade for this guy or that guy to fool you all into like make-believe news stories. Let the other content creators do that stuff. We don't do that here. Now, let's get into the news. Now, sports news, but really AT&T, Jerry World news. The Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. Remember, we thought we heard it was going to be moved, and we heard it was going to be announced later in the week last week. It wasn't announced.
We were kind of worried because, is it going to interact with our football schedule?
Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, that fight that was supposed to be on July 20th, because of ulcers from Mike Tyson, had to be pushed forward, is now on November 15th. Snap.
Yeah, so, hey, we weren't too far off with the timing, but where does that land?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is at AT&T Stadium, of course. It will give Netflix a dry run 6 weeks before the Christmas doubleheader. Remember, they have that Christmas doubleheader game, Netflix. They got their live football stream. That's the first time they're ever doing a live football game on the Christmas doubleheader. But now instead of having this fight done in July, they're going to have it only about a month and a half before this. So it's a kind of a dry run to see how, with this Jake Paul Tyson fight, 6 weeks later, they got NFL games to put on Christmas.
And by the way, for those of you curious, because I just looked at it myself, November 15th is on a Friday.
So it gives a little bit of a room there. Now, what does that do about, we got to talk about the schedule. That's kind of where, which game is.
What exactly does that, because it feels like that's right around our Thanksgiving Thursday game stretch.
Well, there you go. I mean, you're looking at it right here. November 15th falls on the road. We're there we're home against the Eagles. I'm sorry, we're at home against the Eagles, and then we got a Monday night game. So that's a 3-day break between that Friday.
But that's great because that means that on both sides, all the way around, it gives everyone plenty of time to do whatever it is they need to do. It's a good thing we don't practice at AT&T Stadium, right?
I would also say probably the Cowboys lose a little bit of money there, Jerry, with his tours that he usually does there. So that Texans weekend or Monday night game, if you're looking to do the tours, probably won't have them that Friday and Saturdays. Obviously, Jake Paul fight Tyson there on that Friday. So
we're definitely all watching that fight for one reason and one reason only: to see Jake Paul get his ass beat by Mike Tyson.
Yeah, go
Let's
Mike.
Be real.
Go Big Mike. So, anyways, just wanted to give you guys the update on that fight. Now, moving on. Sunday ticket on DirecTV and other places, of course through YouTube. A group of over 2.4 million subscribers. I think we may be one of them, baby. That have subscribed in the past to Sunday Ticket on DirecTV are alleging the NFL artificially drives up prices for their channel. I mean, is that a surprise? But the NFL is facing potentially $21 billion in damages, one of the biggest legal challenges to the NFL's media model in years. So I'm not sure the intricacies on that, but I'm sure we'll hear more. And maybe we'll get deals on our Sunday Ticket this year. Who knows? But basically, they could lose up to $21 billion the NFL.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no one feels bad for them. But the fans could win in the ability to see out-of-market games for a lot less money than the Sunday ticket package currently costs.
I mean, and you know what?
Hey.
That is a fair point to make.
Ooh.
If you are paying what is essentially, what feels like a freaking small mortgage payment, right? Just to be able to watch all these NFL games, but then you can't watch the games that you want to watch because they're out of market or they're blocked for you for some reason. Again, why are you paying for a service that is restricting what you can watch on that service if the whole reason you paid for it was to watch all the NFL
every
games?
Game, yeah. So
yeah, this one feels like hopefully a win for us regular people once it works its way through the courts. Although, hey,
that's the hope.
NFL lawyers do what they do, so let's see how it goes.
We'll see. 21 billion is at stake here, and that's in favor for the consumer, the fans, us. So anyways, now there's a court document. We look at cornerbacks in free agency, and one of the names we keep bringing up outside of Stephon Gilmore is Xavier Howard, formerly of the Dolphins. He's a free agent. Court documents now have been released and accusing ex-Dolphins at cornerback Xavier Howard of sending sex videos of a woman that he got pregnant to the woman's son. I guess he was in the teenage years or so, because she wouldn't get an abortion. So again, there's also other things going on. Basically, previously, Howard was accused of giving a woman herpes that he met while getting tested for herpes. Yeah. So Xavier Howard going crazy out there. Maybe we don't want him on the Cowboys team. You know what I mean?
Is this like Tinder 2.0?
I don't know, but he's going for a herpes test. Ends up banging the nurse, I guess, that was giving the herpes test, and then he ended up with herpes and gave her herpes. I mean, she's the idiot too, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, my goodness. Xavier Howard,
what about someone getting an STD test made you go, you know what?
This guy might not have
like
STD.
you.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess the money. I don't know, but either way, there's some unsavory updates there in the NFL. Now, what about the UFL? All right, the United Football League. It's going to be funny. We may be at the Super Bowl of this thing here. Yes, the MCF crew might film from there. I don't know. But I know we're going to have some Cowboy players either from there or, maybe coming to the Cowboys. We got Conte Turpin from the UFL. Mm-hmm. We got Brandon Aubrey, literally from one of the teams that's going to be playing at this thing. The Birmingham Stallions, I think, are going to be playing the San Antonio Brahmas. So that's going to be the game in St. Louis next Sunday. But the Coach of the Year was announced from the Michigan Panthers. And that's their head coach, Mike Nolan. Yes. Hot sauce in the eye, defensive coordinator Mike Nolan for the Cowboys. Formerly there, the first defensive coordinator for the McCarthy era. And he's over there. Again, got him to the conference championship. This is UFL. But he's the coach of the year in the UFL as well. Now,
at least now we know what he's been doing.
Yeah, and listen, a former Cowboy player who's back in the UFL, Breland Speaks. He was the 2024 Defensive Player of the Year. Again, for the Birmingham Panthers, so they're going to be. I don't know why I said US. I'm sorry he's for the same team. I'm sorry, Michigan Panthers. Okay. I understand, but the Michigan Panthers there. Breland Speaks. He will be. He's the Defensive Player of the Year. A guy the Cowboys had, I'm pretty sure, on the practice squad for a season. And then the all UFL edge or outside linebacker pass rusher is also Breland Speaks. He is leading the league in sacks. I think he had 10 in the UFL. The defensive lineman of the year is also another former Cowboy, Daniel Wise. I don't know if you remember Daniel Wise. We had him there. He was part of the all UFL defensive line team there. He was the best guy. But anyway, sack leader. Just so you guys know, Breland Speaks. I'm sorry, he had 9.5 sacks this year. And then, actually, Taco Charlton. He's going to be in the championship game. We may interview him.
I guess 75% of these teams are just made up of former Cowboys. Cool.
Taco Charlton got 6 sacks. He was 4th best in the NFL. So in the USFL or UFL. So he'll be in the final game against the San Antonio team.
I'm sure he was there first round.
We may we're going to be wearing our Cowboy gear, so we may say, Taco, hey, you screwed us. You screwed the Star. Now you're playing for the Birmingham Stallions. Enjoy. Anyways, I just wanted to just kind of go through the UFL since they're ending their season next week officially, and there's a couple, Coach Mike Nolan, Breland Speaks, Daniel Wise, Taco Charlton. I just think you 4 Cowboy coach or players that are in this league, and they got high marks and high awards and stuff like this. So congrats to them, I guess. There. So now moving back to the NFL. If you guys have not heard about this from a couple days ago, I don't know if you heard about this, baby, but there's a player, B.J. Thompson from the Kansas City Chiefs, that had a serious episode happen to him. The Chiefs Vice President of Sports Medicine and Performance, Rick Burkholder, detailed the team's response in this medical emergency for B.J. Thompson. Quick action by Harrison Butker, the kicker, to run for help when Thompson began seizing in a meeting. And then he actually lost consciousness. He actually suffered a seizure and went into cardiac arrest.
What the hell?
During a special teams meeting.
Let me make something clear, guys. Seizures usually don't cause cardiac arrest. Just throwing that out there.
He had a seizure, then went to cardiac arrest. Second year guy right now. Prognosis though now after a couple days is good. I mean he's a positive update. He's awake and responsive, which is great to know, of course. And again, hoping the best for him going forward. Now obviously a scary situation. I'm pretty sure Butker ran.
At least Butker did one good thing
he
recently,
he ran from the special teams meeting room to get the vice president of sports medicine, who's a well-renowned guy in the NFL and really in the medical world, Rick Burkholder, who was able to go in there and apply the appropriate medical treatment for him to actually stabilize and get him to the hospital. So that at least is a good news there to the end of this kind of crazy situation that happened at the Chiefs facility there. Now we wear our color rush, our icy whites. I love them, but the Vikings are trying to copy us.
What's cooler than being cool?
Ice cold. Well, the Vikings are trying to copy us with their icy uniforms there. They're going to wear them on Monday, December 16th. But it's basically, they're going from they're all purple, they're going all white. Vikings are unveiled these alternate uniforms, this color rush uniforms, which has an all white helmet, no purple, just purple trim. It's going to be worn for they're calling it their winter whiteout game, which is on Monday, December 16th. So you'll see them trying to copy us. But you know what? Cowboy Color Rush, the best in the league. No question, no diggity doubt.
I think Minnesota went a little too white on their whiteout because you can't tell in any way, shape, or form that it's Minnesota. Just throwing it out there. Yeah. So not even close.
Yeah, just a little trim of the Viking horn out there, So anyways.
But even that, it looks
very light.
Lumpy.
You can't see it. So another veteran receiver out there, McCole Hartman, was bouncing around the Jets and other teams. He's back to the Chiefs on a 1-year deal. So they're trying to add in a couple other receivers that kind of know, and that also Mahomes knows, that they know each other. So and Sterling Shepard, former Giants wide receiver, was recently just signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, and he actually was shocked. He thought he was going to be back in New York, and at the last second, the Bucs made a move for him and got him. So the Buccaneers now have Sterling Shepard as one of their receivers, not the Giants. Finalizing things here of the NFL news side of things, Giants tight end Darren Waller. We talked about him last week. He was thinking about contemplating retirement. Have an answer by the end of the week. We have an answer. He's retiring. He's retiring from the NFL. No more a Giant. So he walks away from football at the age of 31. And only after 1 year with the Giants. I'm telling you, Joe Looney had 1 day. He was retired. Darren Waller has 1 year. He's retiring from the Giants. Everybody hates the Giants.
I would say the Giants are the graveyard of NFL careers. Not so much because that's where people go to die, but because people go there and want to die. Literally. Retire. Leave. Gone.
Yeah, so Darren Waller, he's I'm done with the Giants and football here after 1 year with the Giants at age 31. Now, Darren Waller has not attended any of the workouts. Had not at this point, right? And the Giants had known for some time that he was probably not going to play. But, again, now it's official. And, he's letting them know before they go to minicamp. With this news of his retirement, this means that now the Giants actually they gain back $11.6 million in cap space. So, they actually, have they basically have what we have when we got Gallup back. We got the Gallup June 1st money. And when you look at the other situation, what are the Giants going to do at tight end? They knew he would potentially retire, so they actually went out there and drafted Penn State's tight end Theo Johnson with the 107th pick. That'd be the 4th round, I think it was. End of the 3rd, beginning of the 4th. Either way, they were prepared. And, they have a receiver or two, a tight end or two on their team. They also drafted Theo Johnson. So they're going to do their best with what they have there at tight end, which definitely they were hoping after it was a big pickup for them with Waller. He's gone after a year and retired. And I'm talking about these these OTAs for the Cowboys, right? We only had 2 out of our 3 days. Some teams have 4 days of mandatory minicamp. We had ours every year. Basically, we had a practice day taken away from us because of too much contact in these OTA practices or mandatory minicamp practices. And the reason I'm saying that and bringing this up is because the Detroit Lions this offseason admitted that they violated player work rules pertaining to on-field physical contact. And this is all pursuant to the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. So now they have to forfeit their Monday, June 10th practice, which was part of their their mandatory minicamp. They do not practice on Monday. It's been taken away from them because they had too strenuous of OTAs. And I wanted to stress to you guys, that's why when we talked about these OTAs and mandatory minicamp, there was no team drills. There was some 7-on-7 walkthrough stuff, but it wasn't anything real.
Yeah, if you remember, like the first 2-3 years McCarthy was here, didn't we get hit almost every single year
we
with
lost a
something,
practice day,
losing a practice or some other thing because of exactly
it was
that?
Always, I think 2 years in a row we lost one of our mandatory minicamp practices or our OTA practices for the following year. For the following year, we lost it, right? I don't know if we lost it this year.
No, this year was I think the first year that we...
I meant from last year if we had lost a day.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if we had lost a day. I think we had a day taken away. But the Cowboys, for some reason, they only need 6, 7, 8 days of these OTAs and minicamp because McCarthy cut it short and had this other, OX performance group come in there and do their thing. So it was not even, the Cowboys don't even utilize all these on the field days. But the point is, this year the Cowboys didn't get in trouble. And I want to stress, that is why we've been telling you guys, and the media's been telling you, it's been very little contact. You can't judge a goddamn thing for the OTAs or minicamp because there was no contact. And Mike McCarthy always has a little bit of contact. They didn't want to risk it this year.
We played it very safe.
So
because it sounds like the same thing. Like the first time he got in trouble for it, he adjusted. And then after that adjustment, he still got in trouble. So he just probably threw his hands up and said, fuck it, no contact. Forget it.
And I'm wondering, if the Joneses or if, I doubt the Joneses did. I think it's more of a McCarthy thing. I agree with you, but I just wonder, did the Joneses have anything to say? Let's say let's not look bad in the commissioner's eyes, because they always want to look at their at their best with the Joneses when it comes to the NFL and being like the pristine team and organization. I don't know, but I do agree because McCarthy runs the practices. It's his loss. Then if he loses a practice, it's on him. This time he made sure not to lose any practices, not just for this year, but for whoever's the coach next year. Mm-hmm. Think about that, too. He could have just went all out if he wanted to. But anyways, the Lions went all out, and now they lost themselves one of their practices for a mandatory minicamp. One last NFL news, which also is a former Cowboy here. Randy Gregory, of course, went to the Broncos, got a big deal there, was released by the Broncos, signed with the Niners practice squad, had some game there, moved into the 53, had some good runs there, but, as far as on the field stuff. But, now kind of, I'm not sure if he's even around anybody right now. But here's the thing. Randy Gregory, he's suing the NFL. He's trying to get money back that he was fined for taking what we know now is to be truly a medication, which is medical marijuana. Remember, He was fined for years at the Cowboys about smoking weed, which he said it was a prescribed medication from his therapist or his people that were taking care of him. And again, it was, but it wasn't legal yet. So he's suing the NFL that, hey, listen, now we know it's a medicine. I was right. I want to sue you guys for this. Look, his agent, Peter Schaffer, said, quote, "This has nothing to do with the Broncos. They have done nothing wrong. This is all about the NFL. Really, what this is about is a player's right, a citizen's right, to take the medicine that a doctor has prescribed for him," end quote. Now, I just want to say, a doctor can prescribe you, he could be a fucking crazy whack job doctor, prescribe you freaking cyanide. I'm just saying, that doesn't mean you should take it. But I'm also saying, weed was legal now to be used, and the NFL has accepted it, but back when Randy Gregory was in trouble or fined for using weed, it was actually a prescribed medication. I don't know if there's an issue with the Broncos that he did anything, was fined from the NFL because he was smoking weed throughout the year, even though he legally is allowed to based on medicational reasons.
Again, I think it's more just the general fact that who is the NFL to tell any individual person what kind of medical treatment they are or are not allowed to have if that's what their doctor wants them to have? So, but that to me is a bit of a tricky one, just because lots of places have rules against people being on certain medications while performing that job, regardless of whether your doctor prescribed them to you or not, right? Like maybe you don't want your truck driver, taking Valium, even if their doctor prescribed it to them.
Right.
Because they got to go drive and hit the road and stuff. So just saying that I'm not really sure how that argument's going to play out. I can't really see it going. Seems like the NFL is going to win that one pretty straightforward, right?
I think they should, but Gregory's trying to do his best. Look, he was compensated well for his lack of play on that field, I think, over his years. Not really with the Cowboys, more with the Broncos, I guess you'd say.
By the way, do you agree with that statement that the best jerseys are the Mitchell and Ness 1994 jerseys? It's the white ones with the stars on the shoulders.
I like them, but they were too big. The stars were too big in my mind. I know I have a jersey or two of those, but it just seemed like they were too big for the uniform. I don't know, it just looked a bit. I actually like the throwback ones we use on Thanksgiving a little more, but I really like the icy white jerseys we use on our color rush nights. So.
It's so funny because one of his earlier comments was basically petitioning that should be our regular uniform, the icy white. So anyway, back to you.
I have no problem with that, but I could bet the Cowboys ain't gonna never change that. No, then I go with the white helmets when they have that silver in it, right? So, anyways. Listen, there's a couple other little, listen, this is NFL/Cowboy news, but the preseason schedule, as far as the national preseason schedule, has been released, I guess. And we already knew our schedule, but are we going to be on any of these nationally televised games in the preseason? The answer is no. The first game is the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. Houston Texans at versus the Bears, and that's going to be, of course, nationally televised. That's the Hall of Fame weekend. It don't count even as a week one. But then there's really no nationally televised games in week one, week two. There's of preseason. There's only one nationally televised game on Sunday, August 18th on Fox. New Orleans Saints at the Niners. And then preseason week three, there's three games. Thursday night, August 22nd, they're going to have the Colts at Bengals on Amazon Prime. On Sunday, August 25th, there's two games. The Cardinals at the Broncos at CBS at 4:30 Eastern, and New England at the Washington Commanders at NBC night game, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So that's just the national schedule. Very small amount of games nationally televised for preseason. Just throwing it out there. You get some local games. You get some NFL Network. I'm sure we get to catch some of the Cowboy games. So we will be on top of that and try to get every preseason game and break it like we always do every year. We watch the preseason games here live with you and let you know what's going down by second by second, even if good, bad, or ugly. We had some injuries in the week 2 game last year. It was horrible to have to discuss. We're going to actually discuss some of those injuries tonight here real quick, but just wanted to say that's the preseason look there, nationally televised games. You look at the highest scoring NFL teams by points since 2019. So in the last 4 years or so, the Cowboys are number one. 2,335 points. Second most points, the Chiefs, 2,271. Then the Niners, 2,223. And then the Baltimore Ravens, 2,219. And on it goes. But yeah, basically we are, a good 50 or more points, better than the Chiefs in the last 4 or 5 years. Although the Chiefs have won 3 fucking Super Bowls in those same time frames. I was just about to say. Niners have been to 2 of them. It's like, Ravens almost made that.
I feel like I can hear Marco Seppian coming out of the woodwork saying,
but look at the opponents.
What teams are, hey.
That's the regular season only. Not, saying so. The Chiefs
I'm
also
looking at that saying, well, what about the results? Because every single one of those other teams has definitely managed to
do better than us,
get farther than we have.
The Ravens got to the conference championship a couple times. Of course, the Niners went to the Super Bowl, lost twice. Chiefs been there 4 times, and won 3. Yeah, it's just saying, our team, the point is that's regular season. So these teams that we've seen, the Chiefs and the Niners, they're also playing easy teams, and they're doing it in the regular season, right? We're doing it in the regular season. The difference is we're not doing it in the playoffs. And these other teams that play the easy teams and beat up on them, they do well in the postseason. We don't. It's not about winning against the easy teams. It's the inability to win against the tougher teams, which the other teams have proven our team has not. Anyways. The only way we're going to get there is by each one of these guys getting better one by one. And right now, is a lot, as you can see by the title, Dak and a lot of other people right now. In between these next 6 weeks, you're going to see a lot of videos, a lot of workout stuff from the entire team in different ways, in different circumstances, practicing with different guys like Dak Prescott. Let's start with him. If you see a lot of, that's why I don't have to even go live too often, because if you look at the shorts that we upload, it's basically what we're talking about here is where all these guys are working out and putting in some work. It's easier for you to see it than for us to tell you about it. But Dak is at the University of Texas, the Longhorns. We're working out there. And I'm sorry, it's not the University of Texas. It's Texas High School facility. But for some reason it hasn't been released which one it is. Either way, Dak Prescott working with quarterback coach Damian Devin, who's one of the best quarterback coaches in the business. You see Dak over there. He's just flinging the ball, staying loose. You see Zeke in the background. You see Tolbert. He's throwing the ball at Tolbert. So he is connecting still with his guys. He's still there with his offense, and he's still busting ass. Like I said, in a Texas high school facility.
I was going to say, can I take a second to point out the fact
Salina High School was the high school.
How nice is this freaking high school facility that you looked at and you're like, oh, he's obviously at some big name college university campus. No, just a high school.
Initially, the colors are the same.
Saying, like, football goes hard in Texas.
In Texas it is big. And again, Salina, Texas high school, that's where he was out there using their facilities. It looks like a damn college, like you said, a facility, like one of their practice fields. They're smaller, but it still looks good. And again, the video's up there if you want to see it. Go ahead and check it out. I want to throw out there something about Dak. If I find something good or bad, I always bring it up. Dak Prescott. You look at the teams with the most dropped passes last year. The Chiefs. And I say, Patrick Mahomes, 44 drop passes, the most in the league. The Browns, 42 drop passes. Third, the Dallas Cowboys, 37 dropped passes. The Rams had 36, the Lions had 35. Oh. Even with 37 drop passes, and that's like 7 less than Mahomes and the Chiefs. Even with 37 drop passes, Dak still led the league in passing touchdowns. Just remember, imagine you had a couple more of those not dropped. Add some more passing touchdowns and yards to that. So either way, like you could say for Mahomes and for Watson and others out there, but Flacco, I guess, for the Browns.
And I'll be the first one to play devil's advocate and point out the fact that it's not like the stats are showing how many bad passes Dak missed his receivers on. Okay, yeah, sure. But overall, receivers, for us, just seem to really drop the ball. Very quite literally.
Yeah. Third most in the NFL.
Quite literally. Shout out the man Jet Li 44. Yeah. Thank you very much for the $1 holler. A classic Go Cowboys there.
Cowboys.
Much love.
Yes, much love to the formerly known Jason Renfro. Jet Li now takes Mark Hovsepian to 17 points on the Stream Boss and still is still a little bit behind, not much, but a little bit behind first place as the sponsor of the week, Mr. McLovin. We'll see what happens. We got a little bit more show to go.
Now, who was that quarterback coach you just mentioned Dak was working with? What's his name again?
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can't hit me on the left field.
No. It is relevant here.
Damian Devin.
Okay. So, Mike Gardana was asking, why not just hire that guy as Dak's quarterback coach? As much as I want to put this one on the cheapness of the Joneses or something, I'm guessing it's because this Mr. Devin, sir, has no interest in aligning himself with just the one team. Why would he do that when he can help multiple quarterbacks? Like, I'm just saying, I'm guessing he probably benefits from doing his own thing on his own rather than being specifically tied to
an organization. Who then can tell him when he gets fired or not? In his home business, he's running it. He's helping a lot of quarterbacks making a lot more money probably in his own business, his own thing. He's made on his own name. He doesn't have to worry about a team representing him. So I think that's why a lot of these guys like O-line masterminds, you hear Duke Manyweather. One time somebody wrote to him, say, hey, are you at the Cowboy location? He blocked them all. So, saying these guys do not want to be part of organizations. They don't mind helping out players in it, but they don't want to be part of organizations. They want to do their own thing. Yeah. Now, this is Dak's offseason quarterback coach. Okay. Like in the offseason, this is who he goes to, whether it's in Cali, Dallas, wherever Dak is, he is. So that in that sense, it's one of his prime, guys. This coach, this quarterback coach. But Dak Prescott, we got our own quarterback coach and our own system here in Dallas when he comes to the Star, and after we get some of the wrinkles out with his offseason quarterback coach, he comes to the Cowboys and rolls right into the system that is in place there at the Star, or I guess it'll be an Oxnard starting off at. But anyways, there you go. Good question, though. Now, we're almost done here, guys. Almost a couple quotes and we're done. But I do want to finish with some other guys that are out there working in this offseason. And I say offseason, I mean now this break here. This is these videos and these things we're seeing are not coming from before the OTAs or before the minicamp. This is now after minicamp. They've broken. Some of these guys are on vacation. Most of these guys are working hard. DAK's working hard, like I just said. You can see him out there working hard. You can also see his probable backup this year, Trey Lance, also busting ass out there, trying to get better and better. Looking good out there, guys. He was back to work with his offseason position coach. I think it's they say Coach Christensen, who's been running with him the whole time. You've seen him in old videos with Trey Lance. The one I have him throwing the ball at dusk or at dawn, wherever he's throwing it, like right when the sun's right. But he's got this guy out there with this Coach Christensen with him. Also in this thing, if you watch the video, some people are criticizing Trey Lance in this video, saying it was a nice rocket pass, but the coach is like, okay, go. And then Trey Lance is like holding the ball an extra second, and then he throws it. The goal was for the receiver, not for Trey Lance to throw the ball. Just letting you guys know on that. So anyways, when you guys watch that short, you can write what your thoughts are there as well. We got DAK, we got Trey Lance. I don't have video of this, but I do have I do want to discuss this here real quick. Robert Prince. All right, he said, who is he? He's our receivers coach. He actually took the rookies, the rookie receivers on the Cowboy team, just the rookies, and went surfing with them at the Fireside Surf, which I guess is like a artificial kind of surfing place. You can do that. It was him, Ryan Flournoy, our 6th round pick, Corey Crooms, undrafted, and Cam Johnson, another undrafted.
That's actually really cool that he did that with specifically the
rookie wide receivers, specifically, and only them. So Robert Prince was with these 3 guys, teaching them how to kind of just surf and have fun. But it's camaraderie. It's the young guys trying to get used to the NFL under this coach, who's going to be kind of the head of the room. So basically he posted. He said Robert Prince said, "quote Sunday surfing with the wide receiver rooks." So good stuff he's doing there with the camaraderie after minicamp. We're not talking about before. We're not talking about this is stuff that they're doing to keep them reeled into the organization and keep on top of what they need to do.
Honestly, this is one of the few off-season things that I am really all about. Please show me everything about how our players are spending time together, bonding, just getting comfortable around each other and with each other. And, Scorpio points out something as well. The surfing helps with balance.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So, they're not just surfing, hanging 10 and having a good time. They're, keeping their balance, core strength.
I was going to say core muscles.
Yeah.
That midsection, when you got to surf, I mean, the balance, all that stuff's going to help them when they're balancing the jump up in the air to grab a ball, right? So, very good point there. Great point. And I was thinking that too. I'm like, surfing will help with them moving around, keeping their core areas kind of stable and strong. And it's just important when you're playing football as well. So, great
I was just,
transfer.
honestly, when you said surfing, I just assumed they were in some weird Texas lake or something. I know you mentioned they're in one of those surfing places. I'm like, that should have probably been my first assumption.
Yeah, if they never surf, they might be in trouble in a lake or in the ocean or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think you can surf in a lake. There's no surf.
There's no wake. There's no.
That's why when you first said it, I'm like, what the
no, they were at some.
they go surfing.
Well, I was saying, Fireside Surf. I'm sure people in Dallas area know that place. It's a it's artificial surfing kind of place you can practice and have fun. Anyways, the last part of, I guess you could say, work here during minicamp, but really going to be after minicamp as well. Keep an eye on what Micah Parsons does. And the reason I say this is because he had a big discussion, and it's on the field. It's in the pic. It's in my thumbnail here. If you want to take another look at Micah here. He's here with DeMarcus Lawrence, but who's right there in the white hat and the white hoodie on there? That is Greg Ellis, former Cowboy player, but now he's our defensive line assistant defensive line coach for Jeff Zaganina. He's Greg Ellis, newly hired, former Cowboy, of course, mild mannered. Zaganina is very hardcore. Ellis is not mild, very well, quiet, soft spoken. So Micah Parsons, as you saw there, spending a lot of time with first-year defensive assistant line coach Greg Ellis during minicamp. As you see here, yes, DeMarcus Lawrence there. Micah has to catch up. He's a little behind on the scheme and the system. Had a lot of one-on-one time with Greg Ellis. I'm assuming this is going to continue throughout the offseason, whether by phone, maybe meeting in person, but whatever it may be. It's good to see that Micah Parsons kind of now knows what he needs to. What is the Zimmer defense expecting from him, and Greg Ellis is the guy kind of breaking it down for him. So again, Zimmer and Hall of Fame pass rusher DeMarcus Ware, both these guys said they consider Greg Ellis the best they've ever experienced in terms of using his hands against offensive linemen. So we're talking about using your hands. Again, Micah's been boxing, getting that hand movement stuff, right? We know he's been doing this for a couple of years, getting better and better. Then we got Greg Ellis, who's one of the best ever, according to Mike Zimmer when he coached him, and according to DeMarcus Ware when they played together, saying this guy here, Greg Ellis, one of the best with his hand movements to help him gain a little leverage, help a little edge when pass rushing. So whatever you've seen from Micah Parsons so far, it should get a little better with Greg Ellis in the mix now. Kind of giving them tips and pointers. And again, things that you might see in the next 5 weeks, maybe a little video clip here and there of Micah. Handwork, new stuff with the hands, along with the strength.
I don't doubt at all that Greg Ellis will absolutely help Micah's game improve just from a technical player standpoint. But, don't want to be that negative person. One of Micah's main points was the fact that Dan Quinn was very personally close to the players, right? And like personally himself was like talking with them, interacting with them and stuff. Zimmer is much more of an old school type of guy and also not a very talkative person like that. So, do you think that this kind of hurts that aspect of things where, okay, we're seeing Zimmer's defense, we're seeing that kind of start being like worked through, but it's not really going from Zimmer to Micah the way that Micah kind of implied, like that he kind of wanted a little bit more one-on-one FaceTime with Zimmer in that way. No. It's like, okay, it's Ellis kind of, passing on the mandate of Zimmer and then helping that kind of come to fruition.
I think we got to remember that Dan Quinn was a defensive line coach. So he always talked, he probably talked a lot more defensive line players than he did with the safeties and corners.
True.
He probably did a lot more work with the defensive line, hands-on, than he did with other positions. So to me, Zimmer is a defensive backs coach.
Okay.
He's probably got a lot more hands-on with all of our safeties and all of our cornerbacks. I think that you see him, maybe he's more hands-on there, but I know what you're saying. He's still kind of a assistant coaches, you do your job kind of thing. And you guys push, it kind of comes from the top down. So I know Micah wants more interaction with Zimmer. Mm-hmm. He might not get what he wants, but I think he's going to get what he needs through Greg Ellis and other guys to get him to do what he wants. Now listen, when things have to get told to Micah Parsons, I'm 1,000% positive Zimmer's going to tell him. I don't think that Zimmer's just going to be like, we're not, we don't talk to Micah Parsons.
I agree. So I don't think it's like that either. It's more of the fact that, like you said, like he just wanted a little bit more, it seemed like, personal time with Zimmer.
Yeah. Well,
to work on some of this, or just that same level of interaction that Dan Quinn kind of had.
Never going to have that again, the way he had it with Dan Quinn. I mean, Micah's got to grow up. He's got to be a big boy here. So what he's going to have to understand is that they've had 2 days together. 2 days on the field together. Micah, be a big boy, be a big guy, be a big man, and eventually you'll get a chance to talk to him about what you need to do here as you get into training camp. I don't think this is a thing. Micah's worried about it already. Then he's got bigger problems because Micah is gonna have to man up here and just be like, look, I'll talk to my coach and we will find out what we not. I hope he talks to me and I hope that we can get the way I was with Dan Quinn. Fuck that shit. You're the player. He's the coach. And Micah got to deal with that. I don't care how good of a player you are. So Micah, he'll have to deal with it. I'm sure he won't have any issues. Listen, if anybody that Mike Zimmer wants to talk things through with making sure we get it done right, it's with Micah Parsons, because Micah Parsons is your best player in the field. Yeah. Now the guy who Zimmer might speak with the most is Kendricks, because they know each other. They know the scheme. The discussions will be easily translated from Zimmer's mouth through Kendricks and to the players best.
I think it was a very valid point that you brought up, though, is the sense that, Quinn focused a little bit more on the front of the bus of the defense as far as the D-line.
That's a specialty,
and Zimmer's obviously focusing a little more on the back of the bus with
the back end.
defensive back.
Again, because that is his specialty. When he came into the league, he's Cowboy. He's a defensive backs coach. So, anyways.
That was all. That was a great point there. Just wanted to touch on that.
Continuing with the defensive backs, we'll move on from Micah and go to the backs because when I say the defensive backs, corners and safeties, let's just stay with cornerback Trayvon Diggs. And we got some injury updates real quick. Every week we'll probably only have 2 or 3 shows a week for the next couple of weeks, guys. Keep that in mind, if that. Because of the very light work that's going out there, light information out there.
Don't worry, we're signing those free agents any day now. Any day now.
Those extensions coming from our own guys. Should be any day now. But Aiden Diggs, Trayvon Diggs' son, he's really turning into a media icon. He's out there doing interviews. We talked about him like leading other kids. And now Trayvon Diggs' son is hosting Media Day for the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. I don't understand. I mean, he's a media mogul already. Little Aiden Diggs, media, football, whatever else he's up to. Aiden's future. He was driving he was in a car. I don't know if it was with Stephon Diggs, his uncle, or Trayvon Diggs, but he was in a car on water. All right, little Aiden. So his future continues to get brighter and brighter. And what about Trayvon Diggs? Because Trayvon Diggs, we got to see what's up with his injury situation at torn ACL. The Cowboys will not be rushing him back or any of the injured players back on the field too soon. I'll re-say it, but Mike Aldana's in the membership. Why?
Because Jet Li 44 is showing the love. Huge shout out to the man Jet Li 44. Congrats there, Mike Aldana. Drop him now that you got him.
Big shout out there. Big congrats, by the way, to Mike Aldana. And big shout out to Jet Li 44 because now he's got 4 total for the last 2 weeks of gifted memberships, and he's currently in first place by 3 over a skeptical fan on the gifting board. So big shout outs there. He might be going back to back like our 90s Cowboys.
We haven't done it all night, and you're still finishing updating the board. A quick reminder, everyone, to take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. One of the best, easiest, simplest ways these guys can show the love here for the MCF family, of course. You have everybody here representing on all the boards, like the sponsor of the week and Cash App King, McLovin.
The man, McLovin.
Showing the love. A big mahalo to the stream boss, Mark Hosepian, with now 17 points on the stream boss.
Yeah, hanging on.
And you saw him flexing that gifted membership muscle there. Mr. Jet Li 44 is your gifted membership king currently and trying to back-to-back it.
We probably got like 15, 20 minutes left. It looks like he's going to take that from Skeptical Fan. But everyone's too far from McLovin in the Cash App, it seems. Overall, it's like 26 away, I think, that Jet Li is back on the top spot on McLovin. So if something happens after that drop, if something happens crazy between now and then, Jet Li 44 could literally be adding another bonus raffle membership, bonus raffle entry to our jersey raffle going down tomorrow or Tuesday. Next time we go live, it's going down. So we got to figure out who's the sponsor of the week. And it's right now, it looks like it's between Jet Li, who's 26 back. I guess 27 for the win on McLovin. Boom. So anyways, we'll just leave it at that there and see what happens. Now, appreciate you. Big time shout out to Jet Li 44, one of the kings of the castle here at MCF and my Cowboys family. Now, so let's get the update on Trayvon Diggs here real quick. And the rest of the injured guys. The Cowboys are not going to be rushing back any of our injured players, including Trayvon Diggs, not getting them back on the field too soon. So we're just hearing that. I expect to see, and I'll go through all the names, but Trayvon Diggs and a couple of these other guys that we want to see back in the field, overshown and stuff, PUP, for training camp. That's my guess, just to start off this thing. We'll see. Some of these guys might be able to get on the field. Most definitely will not. And the Cowboys do not want to rush them back. And like I said this the other day, guys, Mike McCarthy likes what he's seeing from Trayvon Diggs. We know missed after week 2, missed the rest of the year with that torn ACL injury. But even though everything looks good, it doesn't mean the Cowboys are not going to speed up the process to get Trayvon Diggs on the field. McCarthy, I'm going to remind you guys what he said in full context about Trayvon Diggs. Quote, "We'll respect the timeline, but Trayvon looks great. He's in a good spot. I just talked to him a little bit there on Monday during the physicals. As far as when he gets back, well, let's be honest. We're going to be very cautious with all these guys. We're not going to put them out there too soon. Better later than too fast." 1,000% agree.
Yeah.
Agree. And not just
different approach than last year's.
That's funny you say that.
Oh my gosh, Michael Gallup's going to be ready for week 1.
Yeah.
Like, in the sense of,
that was 2 weeks. That was 2 years ago. But yeah, I know what you mean. It was like Trayvon. It was Terrence Steele last year. With all the injuries the Cowboys have had from last year.
Yeah.
Last year we had I don't know how we handled it beforehand, but last year we had a lot of guys get injured. You know that ACL plague was going around for like a week in a row. But we had a lot of injuries from last year. The Cowboys' ultimate goal this year is to have them ready for week 1. Everybody. You get hurt this year, you got like Schoonmaker and Mozzie, they got surgeries. Everybody got to be ready by week 1, not by training camp. They want these guys ready without being rushed by week 1. So don't expect to see your favorite guys that are injured on that field in training camp.
Not just that, but expect even, guys that maybe you would expect to see a little more from, maybe they don't do as much just overall.
Yeah, they might hold them back to make sure they're healthy and nothing crazy happens. Yeah. So, again, all these injuries, guys, the key here is with Trayvon Diggs, they're going to try to work him back, of course, into practice. The hope is sometime in training camp. But that means he's going to start off on the PUP list. And that goes for other guys as well, guys. He's one of 4 ACL injuries the Cowboys have from last year. Rookie John Stevens Jr., tight end, who will probably be on the PUP list as well. DeMarvin Overshown, the 3rd-round pick from last year, he'll be on that. I will suspect he's on the PUP list as well. And wide receiver David Durden, who will definitely be on that list because there's no real need to rush him in there. So, I mean, he's the least of the guys we need importance of. All these 4 guys, of course, suffered those injuries within 1 week back in August, those 3 guys. And then, of course, a month later, we had Trayvon Diggs gone with the same ACL tear. So all these ACL tears, expect none of them to be on the field for training camp. At least to start training camp. They'll be on the PUP list, and eventually be taken off that list, hopefully, if not in Oxnard, by Dallas, and then and we'll go from there. But I just want to give a big update on this injury core of guys that we see with those ACL tears. Now, of course, guys like Mozzie Smith and Schoonmaker, Mozzie should be good to go in training camp because he had the surgery right after the season ended, and it was a shoulder issue. Schoonmaker had the same shoulder injury, but like a week before OTAs. So I think Schoonmaker's going to have the bigger issue getting integrated into training camp. I think he's the guy that comes back maybe back in Dallas during the training camp time, 2 weeks before the season starts or so. Maybe 3 weeks before the season starts. He'll be back in the regular practice mode. One guy I want to talk about, and maybe he kind of brought up Michael Gallup, but it kind of reminded me of the other guy that really is the guy that was coming off the injury last year in that torn ACL, and now we're going to see how is he going to do this year, because that to me is one of the biggest questions, and I'm nervous about this guy, Terrence Steele. I've always been worried. I know some of you guys love him from the moment he came. After that first year, you guys loved him better than Lyle Collins and all that stuff. I've always been worried. I mean, he's shown he can do it, but doesn't mean he's perfect, and I know he's not going to be perfect. He was looking great 2 years ago until he tore his ACL.
I was going to say, the Cowboys even signing him and getting ahead of the curve here. Like, oh, wow, great. Under any other circumstances, an 11 out of 10 move. Except for that tiny detail where they decided to do it after his injury. Right. But before, we knew if he was going to be kind of good to go.
Exactly the situation we have with Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup got hurt, second to last game of the season, and in the offseason, we paid him about $11-12 million a year average for 3 years. That's stupid Jerry Jones football management there, GMing. And then the following year, Terry Steele got hurt, maybe in the end of November, beginning of December, close to the end of the year, maybe a month before the Gallup injury would have happened in the same time frame. And basically 11 months later, Steele gets hurt, tears his ACL and his MCL, and comes back last year, all right, ready to go. I mean, he was surprisingly ahead of schedule. He played. Did he play well? The answer is no. Now, did he get better as the year got closer to the end? Yes. But I'm still worried. He had his issues in his first year. Now he's got a torn ACL, which is still kind of, we don't really know what he's going to look like this year. We know what happened with Gallup when he first came back with a torn ACL. And last year with the full year off of getting back here, still didn't look very good. But that's a receiver spot. We're hoping for linemen. Maybe you don't have to have that agility and versatility to jump up in the air and catch the ball, right? But Terrence Steele, to me, is going to play a critical part in the success of our offensive line and of this entire unit on offense as well. He's now going to be an entire season removed from that devastating torn ACL that he suffered in 2022. And now he's, of course, starting right tackle. No, knock on wood, no coming off of no injuries from last year.
Managed to play the entire season.
He had every single. So he had the most snaps in the Cowboy team. I think he played every single snap. So at least we know he can handle it. But his play didn't show that good last year. I hope his play can get better. That's all I'm saying.
Like you said, it's one of the two. At least he'll be available to improve throughout the year. And usually when you come back from years like that, like for example, Trayvon. Not really looking for improvement from Trayvon Diggs. I'm not really looking for him to get better from where he was before. I'm looking at him maybe reaching a similar level for this year, right? Like just getting back to where you were is already.
We know Trayvon Diggs, has those coverage skills to do that stuff. We'll see his drop immediately if he's not there. With someone like Terrence Steele, it's a little more difficult to see the drop off because last year there was a drop off, but we can say that was the ACL tear. Looked better as we went to the end of the year, but now we're going to see him. Now there's no excuses. Now he should be back to go, ready to roll 100%. And Terrence Steele said he feels great about both his potential in 2024 to get right back where he was in 2022, as well as the entire offensive line. Even though there's two new guys kind of in there. He said, quote, as a unit, we're really good. Everyone is killing it in the classroom and on the field, and we're really moving leaps and bounds over last year, end quote. I only hope that's true, Terrence Steele, because if there's an issue with Terrence Steele, you might see someone like Guyton getting popped out to the right tackle spot, someone like Tyler Smith getting popped into the left tackle spot, and now we're going to see like a TJ Bass, Cooper Beebe situation at guard and center, or Brock Hoffman and Cooper Beebe, Hoffman at center, Beebe at left guard. Possible situation if Terrence Steele, lacks the ability to look like he did in 2022. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year. I'm just saying that is the future. If Terrence Steele has a Michael Gallup second year after injury issue, Michael Gallup had a bad year last year, even a full year away from his ACL injury. Same thing goes with Terrence Steele. If he has another bad year off the injury, now after a clean year, if he has a bad year, then the moving could be going on sooner than later when it comes to Guyton and Tyler Smith and Cooper Beebe and all our guys on our offensive line. But right now, Terrence Steele is saying that we are leaps and bounds above where we were last year at this time, as far as the offensive line, and I only can hope so. That's all I'm hoping for. So since we're talking about offensive line, let's talk about the rookies. So that's what's making the difference right now. The changes when it comes to the offensive line, the big names. You see them right there. Number 60, Tyler Guyton. Number 56, Cooper Beebe. Along with Terrence Steele, Zach Martin, and Tyler Smith. You know it. You know what's coming, guys. So we got ourselves, truly, look, Tyler Smith. We got
the O-line of the future.
Yeah, the O-line of the future is here. We got some of the guys that you could say are still, like Zach Martin. I just showed you Zach Martin, Tyler Smith, Terrence Steele. You got the other two guys right behind them there, Guyton and Beebe. Those will be the five guys that might be the starter by week 2, 3, 4, maybe the beginning of the year. But that's the line. That's the line we want to see. That's the best five I think we got. Now, Tyler Guyton spoke a little bit more. Now he's been here for a couple months now with the Cowboys. Got the OTAs, the rookie OTAs, the OTAs mixed in with the veterans. Mandatory minicamp now off into this big break here until we get back to training camp. And Guyton's going to be dealing with the pads on. Now we're dealing with it for real. What did Tyler Guyton say as far as about his mindset? I guess about after practice. This was after practice. He was interviewed after the last day of mandatory minicamp. What did number 60 have to say, Tyler Guyton?
I fucking love it. That's football, man. That's the game you signed up for. You want it to be hot and nasty out there. We're putting in work. Everybody's doing this shit together. We have one collective goal, and we're doing everything that we can to reach it. It is a little bit different than I thought, but I love it, though. I just didn't know what I didn't know. It's just getting acclimated to new techniques and things like that, all of the new plays. It's been fun, but it's also been a challenge for sure. I feel like I'm more in shape than I've ever been. I started building relationships with guys that I used to look up to, and I still do. But my idols are recognizing me as a teammate, and I think that's cool. I definitely had to earn my respect.
And let me just add to that. He's going to continue having to earn that respect. But that's fine. That's what rookies got to do, and it's going to be, every day he earns a little more respect. He's more part of this team and a big part of it, a cornerstone of this team. So it's good to see Tyler Guyton figuring it out as he goes forward. And again, can't wait to see him in training camp. I'm sure he's going to be busting ass. You can see some video of him in the next 5 or 6 weeks of him working and grinding to training camp.
It's kind of funny because some of his comments, again, make me think of a fan, like just a football fan. Like if you put one of us in the middle of their mandatory OTAs, what would we say, right? Because he said, it's been cool getting to see their process and how they go about things. Playing football, it's an extremely high-level sport. And these guys are all really pros, and I can see why. I'm just following in the footsteps of the guys ahead of me and figuring it all out. I definitely feel like, that work will transfer. They work hand in hand together, and he has good techniques over there. Every guy in the room helps out the rookies. That's pretty rare, I've heard, and I couldn't be in a better position, honestly.
Yeah, and no better situation for him. His rookie goals in year 1.
So...
What's his rookie goal?
Man? Oh, okay. No, I thought you were making a statement.
No, I said his rookie goal. What's his rookie goal?
So he said, I'll leave that, whatever my role is, making this team better any way that I can. Any way that I can contribute to making us better and helping us win, that's what I'm going to do.
Now, as a first-round pick, this guy should be a starter. Does he expect to be a starter?
I'll leave that up to the coaches. I'm going to put my best foot forward so I can be in that position, but if I'm not, I'm not. And iron sharpens iron. I think that we're going to make each other better.
And, again, he's taking the right approach. He has to earn it. He just can't be given the starting job. Right now, you're going to have, Chuma Edoga, the veteran, is going to be the starter, but that should change by the middle of training camp. We'll see how that goes.
Mentality-wise, he's definitely got the right mindset. Right? Like, he went in there, talking about, it's hard work. We all have this one goal.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying, Tyler Guyton so far,
definitely solid.
Well-trained Cowboy media.
Yeah, he's getting used to it. Now, another rookie, a couple rounds later in round 3, but not Cooper Beebe. We're going to go to linebacker, Liu Fao. Guys, Marist Liu Fao has, again, I think the ability to be one of those kind of head-hunting linebackers, middle linebackers the Cowboys love, right? He's going to be wearing number 35 this year. What did he say about his so far after mandatory minicamp? What was his thoughts about his experience right now with the Cowboys?
It's been going smoothly for me. Really just adjusting to things. And I'd say that the biggest adjustment is learning how to be a pro. Just learning how to be a pro, and obviously it's a new environment, so everything's different. So it's about creating your new routine. And as you get here as a rookie, find a routine that works for you. I'm learning my playbook, and the faster that I can create my routine, the faster I can get used to things and get going. And the more confident I'll feel about my contributions on the field, whether it's on special teams or defense. Eric Kendricks and Damone Clark, they've been big mentors for me. Our room is pretty close. And he was kind of asked, what exactly are your plans, for these next few weeks before training camp starts?
5 weeks. So what's work
Yeah,
out? What's
how are you going to, find a routine that works for you? So he said, first of all, stay in shape. I'll be training back home in Hawaii. I have things set up for that. And making sure that every day I'm doing something to get better. It doesn't have to be physical. It could just be looking at the playbook. But I want to do something every day to get better in some way, shape, or form.
I love it. I love his attitude. And I think what
more could you ask from these young guys? Stay in shape, do your best to try and
learn that playbook,
put some effort in still, and
listen,
that's it.
The big thing for me is Liu Fao is one of those guys. I think people are disappointed with him. I think that I'm actually excited about what he's going to bring. So we'll see what happens, but I think Liu Fao is a guy he's going to.
Liu Fao's only disappointing in the sense that if you stop and think about some of the other choices the Cowboys could have made, there maybe. Yeah, you can, I'm just saying, you can make an argument for that.
But I can understand why linebacker, a headhunter at middle linebacker, that could be someone replacing someone like Kendricks in next year, or even Damone Clark.
Everyone keeps talking about replacing. What happened that year where we basically were down to a paper bag dressed up as a linebacker? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that last year? Yeah, because remember how we had to basically, turn a safety into a linebacker?
Marquise Bell did the best he could.
So I'm just saying that, I think that it's easy to get lost maybe in the possibilities or the options or the choices, but we definitely needed a little bit of extra help in our linebacker room. And clearly the Cowboys are waiting for the perfect free agent to come along, which is why we haven't gotten a free agent linebacker, right?
Well, we did.
That was a joke.
Yeah, Eric Hendricks. He's the guy, the glue for this defense. Thank goodness we got at least him. But outside of that, we picking up the Lou Fowle, getting Overshown back, not using Marquise Bell as a linebacker. He's going to be back at safety. Those are the goals you can see from this new defensive side of thinking when it comes to Zimmer. Anyways, Jet Li, 44, once again, dropping that $1.60 holler, which means he's 25 back on first place, currently speaking. Try to take over the sponsor of the week from the man McLovin. So, much love to Jet Li, 44. With that, go Cowboys!
Ooh,
yes, appreciate him. And by the way, did he just take Mark Sipping to 15 points in the stream, boss? He did.
Yes, he did.
So, hey, and we're on to our last speaker. For the, a lot of these guys already, these were done right before minicamp, right when minicamp, the last practice, right before it ended officially. So we heard from one non-rookie, but still a very young player for the Cowboys, and that is number 30, safety, but really he kind of plays all over the place, but safety, defensive back, Wanye Thomas. Wanye Thomas may be overlooked till last year. Wanye Thomas, guys, a high bar for him. He played very well when he was in the games as an undrafted guy last year, or 2 years ago. Now in his third year, looking to be, explosive in 2024. What did he say about this season and his chances to really do something different and improve?
I had a chance to really expand my role and touch up on things that I didn't really get right last year. So having an opportunity in my third year, it's really a chance to up my role and show what I can do in year 3 for real. I showed last year that I could play every spot. I played corner, I played nickel, I played safety, I played linebacker. And just really showing the coaches and showing everybody my versatility and to be able to play down, back, and guard everybody. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious to see going into camp where I'll be placed and how it'll play out with the new scheme. It's going to be a lot of opportunities for a lot of people, and I want to be one of those guys. So I'm just curious to see.
I love his attitude. I see Eastside Harold saying I said the same thing about Bossman and Fat. I think when you talk about Bossman and Fat, you talk about these other guys back there about possibly getting. I feel about Wanye Thomas in his third year. This guy is a undrafted guy. He's bonus, right? You're looking at Bossman and Fat, second rounder. That's a bust.
Yeah.
So two different. If you talk about Lou Fowle, he's an end of the third round pick, and a linebacker, different position. So that's a different comparison.
Matters, right?
But Wanye Thomas is a guy that's a bonus, and we have our starters, right? We got Malik Hooker, and we got Damian Wilson.
Yeah.
Those are not Damian Wilson. How can I forget him?
Oh man.
The other safety. What am I forgetting? I'm drawing a blank. Name me the safeties, baby.
Now I'm thinking of freaking Damian Wilson. We have.
It's the guy who made the interception in practice. I can't believe I forgot his name.
Shit. It's the young guy. Mukwamu?
No, baby. No. I'm talking about the starters, but what number is he? How can I forget his name? The fuck?
Well,
we're really.
You put the wrong name in my head, and you know me. Once I get a name stuck in my head, it's hard to get
Donovan Wilson
stuck.
Donovan Wilson. That's right. It was a W.
There you go.
Donovan Wilson.
Not Damon.
That's safe. Yeah, Donovan Wilson. I just wish that all of us knew. Anyways, the Donovan Wilson safety, Malik Hooker safety. These are our two starters. And after that, you say, well, we don't have any more J-Ron Curse. We have a drop-off. The answer is hell no. We got Marquise Bell. We got Wanye Thomas. We got, again, I see Eric Scott over there and Bland. These are the corners, right? So we got you there, Scorpio. But I'm also thinking about Mukwamu. I just named you 5 safeties on a 2-safety need team. Do we really need any more safeties in this? We are stacked with good safeties here, and guys like Wanye Thomas and Mukwamu that can play nickel, that can play corner in the pinch, that can be utilized differently in a Zimmer scheme defense. So that's why he's excited. I'm excited too to see how he's going to use not Donovan Wilson or Malik Hooker. I know those are our basic 2 safeties. How are we going to throw in these other guys that give you edges in other ways on certain downs and distances.
Yeah, how do you
in
maximize
Zimmer's defense.
that versatility to bring out the best in guys like Juanyeh Thomas?
Exactly, and Juanyeh Thomas and Marquise Bell, who's back at safety, and guys like Mukuamu. So, and again, you have a couple undrafted guys, and maybe a practice squad guy or two, but those are our 5 safeties. I think we're set. Even if we keep 5 safeties, that seems like too much, unless you use them for specific like hybrid positions, which you may see in Zimmer's defense.
It's kind of the point that Juanyeh Thomas seems like he was trying to make. Like, I'm curious to see how they evaluate me, where Zimmer sees my versatility being used to the best of its ability, right? Because like you said, I know I can do all these things. I've been used in all these spots. Yeah,
but new scheme, how are you going to utilize me now? So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with that too. Great stuff there from these players as they left minicamp. And if again, I searched for more interviews and more important things. Guys, trust me, all day, the last couple of days, nothing. So I don't know if I've heard something about, people are making news stories out of Micah Parsons saying that, CeeDee Lamb should get $35 million or $30 million. People are mad because why is Micah speaking on people's money? Who gives a fuck? Is that really a news story? Who gives a rat's ass about what Micah thinks about what he should get paid or CeeDee should get paid? Who gives a damn? Yeah, people are taking these things to another level, like it's just making up news now.
Yeah, and the
instead
thing
of just
that Micah
dealing with the real news.
Micah said that 1 to 2 sentence comment about CeeDee on like Monday.
Yeah. But people, listen, baby, and I know you know this too. You guys out there, I'm sure some of you guys watch it anyways, but it's just people trying to find content that's not really there. Make content out of nothing. So to me, Mike is speaking on CeeDee Lamb's money. It means nothing on this NFL season. Zero. It's an unimportant factor of things. And sometimes it is important if they say something that's kind of out of place or out of line, but that was not done by Micah. That's only done by people want to make news out of something because there's nothing, and expect a lot more of that crap in the next couple of weeks. Not from us here, although in the past we have looked up things and we've tried to find information out in between and what's fallen through the cracks. We perfected this thing. No more falling through the cracks. I mean, if there's 2 days we're not going live and then we go live a third day, we got everything that fell through every crack. So in my opinion, guys, anything that you hear out there, you can always check back with us here on MCF when we go live, or watch the replay if you didn't see it live, and you can see what is the true stuff and what's the bullshit stuff. What's the stuff just for views, for clicks, for content creation. But the content creation we do here is we tell you what the real news is, and if you check out the shorts and in training camp, it'll be some videos. That you can't say that in words. All you gotta do is see it, and you guys can give your opinions on things. So, and that's the way it's going to continue here in MCF all the way up until we get the kickoff going, guys. So I know training camp, we're going to have our live streams for preseason games, and we're going to do our discussions after practices and stuff like this. But a lot of videos coming up, a lot of workout video stuff coming up this month because it's just nothing else out there, guys. And of course, if and hopefully we do extend CeeDee Lamb or DAK or Micah or pick up a free agent or two, we're going live discussing and breaking it all down. Every single forum we can in the reality, factual way.
But, guys, like we said, the good news is on its way because once training camp draws closer and closer, of course, you'll be hearing and seeing the MCF family here a lot more as we have things to discuss and our Cowboys officially return to the football field.
I cannot wait. And again, even though it's going to be a long 5-6 week break for the Cowboys in the NFL, it is not really a break for us here. We're still on top of it and make sure we're collecting and gathering all the news, info, and updates. So every day or two that we skipped, we go live, we got you covered, guys.
Yeah, all the off-season things that we do want to know, hey, maybe one of our Cowboy players, was doing some kind of dumb, stupid thing. Yeah, we'll get,
hopefully that won't happen, but if they do, we'll be there to discuss it and call them out for it. On that note, though, I do want to shout out those that dropped the love from above tonight as we're closing out another 2-week, special, I guess you can say, on MCF. Much love to Skeptical Fan with the PayPal pre-stream and JetLi44 to Cash App, the gifted membership, the super chat here, and all the others that dropped on the After Dark sessions or in the membership, whether it's Traveling Fools, whether it's Skeptical Fan, whether it's McLovin, JetLi44, Dark Raven, Dave B, Multi Super Cockle, and everybody else in the house that dropped the last 2 weeks. Thank you guys. Cannot do this without you all. Sponsor of the week is going to be for the last time. I'll announce it in a minute. but it is the man McLovin. He's also the Cash App King, the man McLovin. A lot of M's. Mark Hosepian, 15 points out of 100, still hanging on to that board as we take it into a new week starting tomorrow or Tuesday. Might have to be a 2-week special, by the way, next week as well. And of course, next time we go live, we'll do the raffle.
Jersey raffle.
Don't forget that. That's going to be for the month of May. If you look at the gifting champion, last week it's been Jason Renfro, aka Jetly44, who's won it 6 out of 7 weeks. It's time to announce the winners this week, and it is Jetly44 who wins 4-1 over Skeptical Fan. 4-1-0 with everybody else in the membership. But yes, Skeptical came in second there, but first place again, back-to-back like our 90s Cowboys. It is Jetly44, and he's got it now for the 7 out of the last 8 weeks of domination. So basically every week but one in 2 months has been Jet Lee's board, is gifting memberships, and that's one of the best ways to help out the channel. So big shout out to you. Now the Cash App King was McLovin. And it still is McLovin. Back to back like our 90s Cowboys. The man McLovin. 2 weeks in a row. Now who got that last raffle entry for that sponsor of the week? Jason Renfro crept close. But unless he drops 25 before this thing ends tonight, it's going to be the man McLovin. He is the sponsor of the week once again. And he gets that other raffle bonus entry for our jersey raffle coming up tomorrow or Tuesday. So big congrats to McLovin. Jason Renfro came in close second there. On that note, it is a wrap on my side. It is time to shout out those in the chat tonight as we wrap up this 2 weeks and really the month of I know it's already in the month of June, but we just finished wrapping up our winner for the month of May for the last weekly winner. Let's do the shout outs, baby, as we close this one out.
We have Dallas Cowboy 92, much love. Even you, Lee Side Herald. Skeptical Fan always, staying skeptical. Scorpio, much love. Of course, the man Jet Lee 44.
Ooh.
Mike Aldana representing. Burn Bar in the house. See, we have even you, Jim Everett. Even you. Brandon J, thanks for rolling with us. Duarte Thomas, have a great night. We have Aztec Aguilar 04. Still with you on that color rush. That man C Bass coming through. We got Taz representing. What up, 88?
The 90s color rush, yes.
Rolando Rodriguez. Kenzie Bands. Let's see. Juan Carlos, much love. Red Hammer. Let's see. I think that's as far back as I can go. Yes, it is.
So, baby, I want you to let everybody know here as we close this week out, the stream out, why do we do this almost every single day for the last 7 years on My Cowboys Family?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
You know it. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. Here in MCF, we always rep that star over everything. And here, again, like I said, we're weeks away from 7 years on YouTube on My Cowboys Family. Never forget the number one thing here, now and forever. As always, go Cowboys. We got 5, but we need to get that 6 and beyond. Thank you all for dropping your knowledge in the chat all night long for the last 2 weeks, and the last month, the last year, and the last 7 years, as well as dropping the love from above. Cannot do that without your support here on My Cowboys Family. Now that we have clocked out for the night, the week, and ready to rock on out of here for the night, relock and reload for another week, probably another double week starting tomorrow or Tuesday, along with that raffle for the month of May. Can't wait to see who wins that. But baby, before we can officially drop out for the night, let everybody know what we got to do.
We got to drop the beat.
Oh yeah, that beat's officially dropped. And thank all you guys in here as you drop your emojis. If you're in the membership, drop them if you got them. They're going to be changing up soon as we get to preseason and, regular season. You know how that goes. The fun gets going on those emojis once we get back flowing with the regular season. So, guys, thank you again for dropping your love, your support, your thanks, your comments, everything. Appreciate you. We'll maybe see you after dark tonight. Who knows? Check it out. Got over 100 episodes over there already in the last, since 2024. But thank you all for stopping in here, talking about all the news, updates, information on our Dallas Cowboys for literally the last 4 days, wrapped up tonight on another MCF Cowboys chat, baby. You know it. And yes, we talked about the rookies, the young guys, the old guys, teachers. What are they doing in the offseason? And of course, so much more here, as we always try to do on MCF. Here on MCF, where it's always about that navy blue, that silver too, and that beautiful star over everything. Never forget the number one thing right here, my Cowboys family. Much love to all of you in the house watching. Can't do this without you all. Don't forget to hit that like for the stream. Hit subscribe for the channel. We're so close to 37,000 subscribers. I mean family members. Family relatives here, right? So thank you guys for subscribing, and of course hit that notification bell to all videos so you know we're going live. You can also double check it on at my Cowboys family at all social media like Twitter, X, and you can triple check it on Discord as well. Jump in there if you're watching us in a replay. Leave a comment down below as well. Thank you all. Have a good, safe rest of your day. We'll see you in a couple, maybe tomorrow. Either way, stay safe. Much love, and never ever forget, Go Cowboys!